All right, let's do some color changes. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways of doing it, and you can choose whatever works best for you and your project. So I've got a row of double crochet, and I'm at the end, and I'm just doing stripes. So my next line is going to be in this bright white here, and so I'm going to be kind of doubling it over, making sure I have a nice long tail to weave in at the end, and you'll just be pulling it through like that, pulling that red line all the way down so it's hidden, separating the tail from the working. Grab that working yarn and do your chain 2 before the turn, and then work the row across. And it makes a nice even color change. And once we get to the other side, I'll show you how to do it a different way. So we're at the end of our row. Can't forget to go into the top of our chain 2 at the end. Right, we don't want an uneven row, so get it through the top of that chain 2. Pull it up so that we're even across. And this is another way of doing it. So you have it here. You take your scissors, cut off your tail, make sure you leave enough that you can weave it in tightly, and pull it all the way through like that. This is really good for projects that you might be afraid are gonna unravel, because pulling it through kind of stops it. So we'll be turning it around, and then we'll be doing a standing double crochet. So to do this, you'll be kind of looping it around. I loop it around a few times. You won't be pulling it through all the time. I pull it through a few times just so I have the tension, because this is a little tricky sometimes. So you'll be going into that first double crochet hole, pulling it up, and then you'll be pulling through 1, 2, and that's your standing double crochet. And I love it, especially when working granny squares. And then you can just undo the 2 of those extra loops that were on there, because look at how similar it looks to a real double crochet. You can hide all of your laddering. You can, when you go up to the next row, whatever it's called, I call it laddering because you're going up to the next rung. But and it makes your color changes really, really smooth. So now what happens if you want to change color in the middle of a row? So let me back up here. And we're going to you're going to start the next double crochet, but before you finish it, you're going to stop with these 2 left on the hook, and you're going to grab your new color and just pull it through the top like that. Leave a long enough tail so you can weave it in later. Yarn over and continue making your double crochet. Now it'll be a little loose at first. You can just go in there. You have your 2 little working threads on this side, and just give them a little bit of a yank gently, and you can see, and I'll do it again. So we're going to do another white, and before I finish, we end up with a lot of tails doing color changes that you've got to weave in, but the effect is always really nice. So before you finish the double crochet, you pull it through with the second color, leave that tail, and then do your next double crochet. off. Looks like spaghetti, doesn't it? And then you just kind of pull those tails that you had just a little bit to even it up. And there you have it. You have your post is exactly the same height. If you didn't do that, this top part would be red and then the column would be white. So when you pull through the last 2 loops of your double crochet, you end up with that new color on the top, which makes for a really nice color change. And there you go. That's how you do it. So I hope I explained things well enough for you. If I didn't, let me know.